Southwest community was one of the first communities to undergo urban renewal. While Southwest was being rebuilt in terms of structure, it also had to rebuild its people, its community, and its culture.
Culture is, in the way that I understand it, is not it's not a static kind of thing. It's a dynamic thing. Culture is the expression of people who live together and who are constantly trying to create and articulate meaning for themselves and for those that they care about. And so culture is never ever really destroyed. It's disrupted, it's modified, it's changed, but there is always a constant flow of expression of what we believe and affirm and hold to be most true for ourselves and others. Because this neighborhood had a legacy of being very culturally alive. You know, there were a lot of places. There were a lot of actual physical buildings, clubs and bars and churches and schools and places where people lived together. You know, they shared common space. There was a lot of engagement, a lot of interaction. There was and with that there was a lot of familiarity and trust. And what urban renewal did was that it just simply drove everybody out. It threw all the tiles up in the air, and then they all landed in a totally different way. So what the Redevelopment Land Authority did was to try and manage the rebuilding of a community, and you know, I think that some of them may have been insensitive people and racist and classist people, but I think a lot of them were good people who tried to do the right thing and tried to rebuild the neighborhood in a form as similar as possible of what was here before, for the benefit of those who had to go back, had to leave, and wanted to come back. The promise was made that everybody who lived here, all 36,000 people, would have an opportunity to return to the neighborhood, and that never happened. That wasn't even feasible. And so there was a lot of deceit that went on, and a lot of perceived deception, especially from those 4,000 or 5,000 real poor African American folk who never had a chance, who never came back, never had a chance to come back. So this legacy of this neighborhood and this ideal, I think, has been very much alive for us. And it's not just the ideal that we draw from the neighborhood as it was here before, but it's an ideal that I think a lot of the stakeholders who have come to this place as members of this congregation or residents of this community or newcomers from somewhere else have all come, and they've all kind of chipped in and added their voice into the conversation about what is this beloved society? What is this ideal? What is worth building and creating? So that's why we do what we do here. We're using the indigenous arts of jazz and blues to help to recover and to reclaim some real meaningful, holy conversations, some good, life-giving forms of expression that people could share between performers and people who are not musicians, just people who come to listen, people who come to dance, people who come to continue and build and advance their relationships with their friends in this context, people who facilitate this program, all the volunteers and the kitchen crew everybody, and the members of this church who pay the bills to keep the light and the heat on and all that kind of stuff. There are a lot of stakeholders in this, a lot of participants, and that's what building neighborhoods, building communities really requires, a broad range of stakeholders and a diverse range of stakeholders. So I think that's what we're struggling with. We're trying.
It is a gathering of the family where we get together and we listen to great music and fellowship together with music and with food.
So music is a big deal to me. It's like writing a way that people communicate, a way that people relate to each other. And this particular place is a community thing. It's DC people, it's local people, both the performers and the audience. So it's a big connection. For me, this is a way that I relieve stress. When I get done with my job and I come here, it's a release of all that stuff that I've dealt with over the day, over the week. So it's a big deal to me for that reason. It's also fantastic music, really. People that I know, people that I don't know, I don't think I've ever come and had it not be an amazing show. And besides the performance, the people are so nice. You'll see people in their 80s get up and dance. It's just, it's an amazing thing to see how much it means to other people.
Well, first of all, it's an avenue to be able to see some of the best blues that I've ever seen for $5. Some of the places that I've gone to, like in Chicago and other places, and even down in New Orleans, just hasn't been like I've seen it up here. Surprising enough to even know that this was that Westminister existed for such a long time on the jazz side, and then they started the blues, and that's when I started coming out. But being here at Westminister is warm, it's friendly, it's like family, which is one of the things that I like. You get to meet the people up close and personal, even to the point that you're on first name basis with them and everything. So it's an avenue to get out and hear some of what I consider some of the best blues that I've heard in years. I'm not going to say in the world since I haven't been all over the world, but it's been pretty good.
Westminister's Monday Night Blues is a way for me to socialize and interact with people. It's a safe environment for people in my age group. We're not necessarily going to the clubs anymore. It starts at 6 o'clock. Most of us go to bed early, so by 9:30, 10 o'clock, we're ready to go to bed and we're out of this show. But it gives us an opportunity to socialize with people who like the same kind of music that we like. It gives us an opportunity to be familiarized with the blues people in our area. It's a very lively show. The music is music from when we were so small up until now, and it brings back a lot of good feelings. I love the blues. I grew up in blues country. My family from Mississippi. I'm from Missouri, born and raised in Missouri. So I'm on the blues trail. I'm a part that is part of my history. Is blues.